Imagine a world where a single spark of amber could change everything. Over 2,600 years ago, people rubbed stones together and watched in wonder as tiny objects jumped to life, pulled by an invisible force. That small mystery would ignite humanity's journey into one of the greatest powers shaping our modern world: electricity. From sparks in ancient Greece to glowing cities today, this story is as electrifying as it sounds. The story of electricity begins with a philosopher rather than a scientist in the modern sense. Around 600 BC, Thales of Miletus, one of the great minds of ancient Greece, noticed something strange when amber, known as electron in Greek, was rubbed with fur. To his surprise, the amber began attracting small, lightweight objects such as feathers or dried leaves. This simple act may have looked like a trick of nature, but in truth, it was humanity's very first documented encounter with static electricity. Thales lived during a time when explanations of natural forces were often tied to mythology, yet he sought logical and observable answers. He believed the universe operated according to principles that humans could understand, and this curiosity made him one of the seven sages of Greece. For him, the strange pull of amber wasn't just a passing amusement. It hinted at invisible forces that shape the world. Though Thales couldn't explain what electricity truly was, his discovery opened the door to centuries of questioning and experimentation. His small spark of curiosity was the seed of a much larger story, one that would stretch across generations, bridging philosophy, science, and eventually the technology that powers our modern lives. The journey of electricity, from a curious force of nature to a cornerstone of modern civilization, was neither quick nor straightforward. It unfolded through centuries of experiments, breakthroughs, and bold ideas. Each step built upon the last, weaving a story of progress that carried electricity from mysterious sparks to the grid that powers our homes today. William Gilbert, 1600s. The first great leap after Thales came almost 2,000 years with William Gilbert, physician to Queen Elizabeth I of England. In 1600, Gilbert published De Magnete, a landmark work in which he carefully studied the properties of magnetism and static electricity. He introduced the term electricus, meaning of amber, to describe this strange phenomenon. More importantly, he distinguished magnetism from electricity and set the stage for future scientific exploration. Gilbert's careful observations marked the birth of electricity as a subject of scientific inquiry rather than mere curiosity. Benjamin Franklin, 1750s. The next key moment arrived with Benjamin Franklin, whose fascination with electricity made him a household name. In 1752, Franklin conducted his famous kite experiment, proving that lightning was a form of electricity. While the dramatic image of a man flying a kite into a storm captured the imagination of the world, Franklin's contributions went further. He introduced important terms still used today: battery, charge, positive, and negative, and helped create a language for understanding electrical phenomenon. His bold experiments revealed that the same force that made amber attract feathers was also at work in the sky above. Alessandro Volta, 1800. The dawn of the 19th century brought a revolution. In 1800, Italian scientist Alessandro Volta invented the voltaic pile, the world's first true battery. Unlike static electricity, which produced brief sparks, Volta's battery delivered a steady, continuous flow of current. This breakthrough gave scientists and inventors a reliable source of electricity for experiments, sparking an explosion of discoveries. Volta's work was so influential that the unit of electric potential, the volt, bears his name. Hans Christian Ørsted, 1820. Only 2 decades later, Danish physicist Hans Christian Ørsted discovered the link between electricity and magnetism. In 1820, while lecturing, he noticed that a compass needle moved when placed near a current-carrying wire. This single observation revealed that electricity could generate magnetic fields, uniting two previously separate forces of nature. Ørsted's discovery laid the foundation for electromagnetism, an insight that would soon transform technology. Michael Faraday, 1821 to 1831. Building on Ørsted's work, Michael Faraday made some of the most pivotal contributions in history. In 1821, he created the first simple electric motor by showing that a current-carrying wire could rotate around a magnet. 10 years later, in 1831, he discovered electromagnetic induction, the principle that makes it possible to generate electricity by moving a conductor through a magnetic field. Faraday's discoveries led directly to the invention of the electric generator and, by extension, the modern power industry. His genius transformed electricity from a scientific curiosity into a practical, usable force. The dynamo and industrial power, mid-1800s. By the mid-19th century, the race was on to put Faraday's principles to work. Inventors such as Werner von Siemens and Charles Wheatstone developed the dynamo, an industrial-scale generator capable of producing electricity for machines and factories. For the first time, electricity could be harnessed not just for experiments, but for real-world applications on a significant scale. Thomas Edison and Joseph Swan, 1870s to 1880s. Toward the end of the century, attention turned to lighting. Thomas Edison in the United States and Joseph Swan in England independently developed the incandescent light bulb. Edison's 1879 version, using a carbon filament, was durable and practical for everyday use. But Edison didn't stop with the bulb. He built the first power station in New York City in 1882, bringing electricity into homes and businesses. Swan, meanwhile, was already lighting homes and theaters in the UK by 1880. Together, their work illuminated the world, literally. The War of Currents, 1890s. The next dramatic chapter was the so-called War of the Currents. Edison championed direct current, DC, while Nikola Tesla and George Westinghouse promoted alternating current, AC, which could travel long distances more efficiently. The rivalry was fierce, with Edison even attempting to discredit AC by associating it with danger. Ultimately, Tesla and Westinghouse's AC system prevailed, forming the backbone of the electrical grids still in use today. The 20th century and beyond. As the 20th century progressed, electricity spread across the globe. Transformers enabled the transmission of power over vast distances. Entire cities were wired, industries were electrified, and daily life changed forever. By the late 20th and early 21st centuries, electricity became not just a utility, but a lifeline, powering everything from computers to space travel. With renewable sources like solar and wind now integrated into modern grids, electricity continues to evolve, shaping the way humanity lives, works, and dreams. From Gilbert's amber experiments to Tesla's triumph in the War of Currents, this timeline shows how electricity grew from curiosity to necessity. Each discovery didn't erase the last, but added another layer to a growing foundation, one that supports the entire structure of modern civilization. The history of electricity is filled with unexpected twists that reveal just how astonishing its evolution has been. Long before Thales or Franklin, ancient Egyptians were fascinated by electric catfish and Nilefish around 2750 BC, calling them thunderers of the Nile. They even believed these creatures had a sacred role, using their shocks for healing rituals. This shows that electricity was part of human imagination thousands of years before science explained it. Later, one of the most surprising episodes was Benjamin Franklin's contribution to language itself. While his kite experiment is legendary, Franklin also coined terms such as battery, charge, positive, and negative, words we still use today. He didn't just reveal electricity, he gave it a vocabulary that shaped science. Another remarkable twist came with Hans Christian Oersted's discovery in 1820. Though often described as accidental, Oersted had been searching for a link between electricity and magnetism. The moving compass needle wasn't a fluke, it was the result of his determination to prove a connection no one else believed existed. Perhaps the most dramatic turning point was Edison's War of Currents, where he tried to portray AC as deadly by promoting its use in electric chairs. Ironically, despite his campaign, AC triumphed, forever changing how electricity flows into our lives. Electricity today is far more than the glowing bulb Edison once perfected. It has become the invisible backbone of modern civilization. Our cities hum with power lines, our homes pulse with Wi-Fi and devices, and industries depend on steady flows of energy. The most striking modern shift has been the rise of renewable power sources. Solar panels now cover rooftops across the world, while vast offshore wind farms spin against the horizon, delivering clean electricity to millions. These technologies are not just alternatives. In many countries, they are now competing directly with fossil fuels in cost and efficiency. At the same time, electricity is getting smarter. Smart grids powered by sensors and artificial intelligence adjust energy flow in real time, balancing demand and supply more efficiently than ever before. This allows renewable energy, which is naturally variable, to integrate smoothly into the system. Looking forward, breakthroughs in energy storage, like advanced solid-state batteries, promise to revolutionize how electricity is stored and shared. Imagine homes that can store a week's worth of solar power, or electric cars charging in minutes instead of hours. Beyond that, researchers are exploring wireless power transmission and even quantum-based energy technologies. The spark that began with amber may one day leap into entirely new realms. From the ancient wonder of amber attracting feathers to the global networks that power our lives today, the story of electricity is nothing short of extraordinary. It has carried humanity from curiosity to control, from sparks of mystery to systems that sustain entire civilizations. Each breakthrough, whether Franklin's kite, Volta's battery, Faraday's induction, or Tesla's AC current, wasn't just a technical leap, but a doorway to a new way of living. Electricity now lights our homes, fuels our industries, and connects us across continents in seconds. Yet, despite how familiar it feels, its future is still unwritten. Will tomorrow bring limitless clean energy, wireless global grids, or technologies we cannot yet imagine? The journey of electricity reminds us that discovery never stops, and so the question remains, what will the next great spark reveal? Electricity's story is filled with sparks of genius, bold experiments, and moments that reshape the world. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which era or invention amazed you the most? Was it the daring of Franklin's kite, the brilliance of Faraday's motor, or the fierce rivalry of the War of Currents? Share your thoughts in the comments and tell me which evolution you'd like me to explore next. Don't forget to check out the other videos on this channel for more fascinating journeys through history. And if you enjoyed this story, stay tuned. There's always more to uncover.